Greetings. My name's Terry Kappel, and I've been nominated by the Democratic Party to run for McHenry Township Trustee. With the pandemic restrictions going on right now, uh, the best way for me to communicate in a personable way with the voters is to create videos that you can look up online for those who are on the internet and pick out videos on topics that are interesting to you, issues. I'm going to create issue videos that hopefully are not too long so that you can pick out what's interesting and important to you, or most important that you have time for, and to look at it and make comments. And hopefully, if you leave comments, I can respond and give you some further information. This first video is to give you a little bit of my background, so that I'm to those who are not familiar with me, you'll know a little bit more about me. First of all, my parents were both born in Chicago. My father was a professional wrestler, a comedian, a clown, uh, um, did magic acts and other comedy acts over the course of his years. Now he's living in Florida. My mother was born in Chicago as well. She lived in Wonder Lake as a child on the east side. Worked in various jobs over the years: E.B. Brown, Alden Terrace, Integra, and Woodstock. Um, I myself, as well as my two siblings, one older and one younger, were born in Chicago. I'm the middle child. My brother is older, and my sister is younger, and they both live in the southwest suburbs of Chicago. Our family moved from Chicago to Wonder Lake in 1971, just before I turned 8. My mother still lives in the same home in Wonder Lake near the dam, and I remember it quite fondly as being a place of beauty, because across the street is a nature area. At the time, you were able to go in there and play and enjoy the beauty of the being close to nature. That's one of the things I like about this area, is that while we're close enough to Chicago to go visit and enjoy the museums, sporting events, entertainment, we also are close to nature, and our community has a great variety of things to do, and varied economic base, with farming, manufacturing, and other commerce. Um, when I was younger, my parents divorced when I was 10. My father eventually moved to Macomb Lake for many years. I've lived in McHenry County myself since 1971 for all but 3 years. I took a little time to attend a Northern Illinois University in DeKalb. And then I also took care of my grandmother, who had Alzheimer's for more than a year. Uh, and that was actually one of the most rewarding experiences of my life, uh, taking care of someone who had spent her whole life taking care of others. And but anyway, my work history, I worked quite a number of blue collar types of work. I worked at DB Hess for the longest period in Woodstock, a manufacturer, bindery and printer in Woodstock. I've worked as a security guard, a warehouse worker, telemarketing, fundraising, and sales. Um, I've done quite a lot of volunteer work as well over the years. I spent 6 years hosting a local public affairs cable show. It took different names over the 6 years. For a year and a half, it was the Kappel Terry Kappel's One-on-One. For a year and a half. After that, it was called the Kappel Report, and then it was called Places to See and Things to Do. I had an opportunity to travel to distant places and regional places, local places of historic interest, of scenic interest, and also specialty shops, small businesses, restaurants, and so forth. And I got the chance to talk to the people that were the heads of the museums or businesses. And that was a great deal of fun. And we also did some comedy shows with my father. And that was a really great experience. I've also done volunteer work with the Salvation Army, fundraising, and quite a bit of political activism over the years. As a campaign staffer and as a precinct committee person. My first campaign experience, political experience, was with the 1988 John Leonardi for Congress campaign. He ran against Phil Crane in the area. My brother was the campaign manager for the campaign. And I spent several years in the 90s supporting some of the political activism of my brother as a precinct committeeman for 4 terms in the 90s. And then also I participated with the McHenry County Conservation Voters in 1992, doing some voter registration, working, knocking on doors and distributing campaign literature, working as a election judge several times, and I've also since I wound up coming back into political activism with the 2008 Obama campaign. I worked in Milwaukee for the Get Out the Vote period, and I wound up deciding to get back into politics quite a bit, and I've been a precinct committeeman a total of 9 times, 5 times since 2010. And here comes my kitty into the picture. This is being done at home, and I'm a cat lover and an animal lover, but just on platonic terms, of course. I've also been, as I mentioned, a deputy voter registrar. In 2012 and 2014, I worked for the Dennis Anderson campaign for Congress in the 14th District. 2012, I was a field director as a volunteer, of course. And I also worked in the 2014 campaign as well. In 2013, I traveled with 3 groups down to Springfield to do some lobbying. Actually, traveled 3 times to Springfield. 2 times it was with a group advocating for the passage of a resolution to call for a constitutional amendment to restore the right of Americans to regulate money and politics. I also traveled down once on the last day of the May cycle of the 2013 legislative year to advocate for the passage of marriage equality in Illinois. Unfortunately, on that day, we had a little disappointment, but eventually it passed in the following fall. I consider myself, generally speaking, a progressive. I'm not one who believes that the desire for perfection should be the enemy of improvement. I believe that our system of government requires compromise from time to time, and I have no problem working with people who are reasonable, of different ideologies, who are willing to find common ground. It's always good to find common ground and find the best solutions, I think, are usually ones that address the needs of the most people. And We can disagree on what those are, but in the long run, to make government function and serve the people in the most effective way, we need to come together and make compromises in government. And I believe in that. Um, I love McHenry Township and McHenry County in general. I love the small town feel of our communities. I love being close to nature in the wonderful conservation districts and state parks we have nearby. As I said, I like being close to the city, so we can enjoy sporting events and other functions in the city. And I also, one thing I've gathered over the years with my political activism in McHenry Township is an appreciation for how independent minded most people in the county are. Uh, uh, People are open to good candidates regardless of party label, and I feel that's a good policy. And basically that's the opening video of my campaign videos. This site, Terry Kappel for Trustee, is going to host many videos that you can call up as you would like. I planned several interactive events where voters can uh, uh, interact with me, ask questions. You can leave comments or questions in the below the in on the site here on the YouTube site. You can also go to my campaign uh, Facebook page, Terry Kappel for McHenry County Trustee. As you know, campaigns cost money, and they also require volunteers to be successful. And I also believe that a candidate should listen to the voters, and I'm going to try to use this means and other means to interact with voters as much as I can, to not only talk to you about what I believe, but to listen to your ideas. It's not just people in government or people in politics that have good ideas. Ordinary people have good ideas too, and they should be listened to. And one of the bad things about our current township trustee board, the three antitrust anti-township trustees, is that they don't listen. They hear only their own ambition, their own viewpoints, and they ignore the will of the people. And that's something I'm going to fight to make myself available to the people and listen. Even if we disagree, you're going to have someone, if I am elected, who is willing to hear you and to listen to you. And maybe we won't disagree, won't agree. Maybe we won't disagree as much as people might think. So that's it. If you'd like to leave a donation, you can make out checks to Terry Kappel for Trustee and send them to P.O. Box 1871. That's the year of the Chicago fire. P.O. Box 1871, McHenry, Illinois, and the zip code for P.O. Boxes in McHenry is 60051. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them below, and I will be posting more videos. Also, be aware that we're going to have a fundraiser on January 30th with famed local storytelling professional Jim May as our entertainment, and we'll have details on that coming up soon in the upcoming communications. If you'd be interested in attending the online fundraiser, leave your contact information below, or contact me to our P.O. Box. Thank you, and have a great day, and together we can make a better McHenry Township government that serves all people. not just a few. Thank you.